My name is Kiati, I'm head of Joshi Advocates. Thank you very much for joining us in this video. We'll be discussing in the next 5 minutes an amazing, interesting story, a quick anecdote, and then we'll look at the EU settlement scheme, and finally a question posed by one of you, which I think I have an answer, but I'm not sure. Let's find out. So first is, let's say there's a lady called Jane. Now Jane was in the UK unlawfully, 12 years, 13 years, and she had a British partner. Now, under usual circumstances, this application will be refused, no right of appeal. But having researched this based on the COVID-19 Home Office policy, we submitted the application, and it was on the policy where it said, you can make an in-country application where normally you're required to make an entry clearance application. And you must meet all the entry clearance application requirements. The only difference is you're making it in country, in England or in the United Kingdom. Considering Jane had a British partner and he met all the spouse visa entry clearance requirements, the only glitch was that she was in the UK unlawfully, and she could not leave and make an entry clearance application because of COVID-19. So we submit the application on the basis that, look, she wants to make the entry clearance application, right? But she can't because of COVID-19. So, and he, the sponsor, British national, meets all the requirements. So on that basis, we submit the application, and the first week of October, we're in October, 16th, so first week of October, Home Office, we finally find an appointment for biometric. So that's great. And then few days later after appointment, Home Office email saying give us X amount of information, we give it. The next day, so that's less than a week after her biometric appointment, Home Office emails decision and gives her a 5-year route to settlement, granting the spouse visa. So that's amazing news. Well done, Jane. Excellent. Congratulations. So that shows research is king, especially in the COVID-19 where things are just uncertain and changing on regular basis. So keep up to date. Now, EU settlement scheme, we must impress this point. Now, there are two concerns here. One, everyone, including the EA nationals and the non-European national family members, must make that application under EU settlement scheme. And as you all know, the application deadline is by June 2021. Even if the EA national and the non-EA national have residence cards, permanent residence, any residents under EEA regulations must switch to the Brexit Appendix EU pre-settled or settled status. Okay, now yes, deadline is June 2021, but as we are coming out of the EU, end of December, our transition period ends. So the transitioning ends, we definitely put a stop to this Brexit saga, which means that traveling in the UK, whether as an EA national or a non-EA national, with whether residence card or a permanent residence card, traveling in the UK in January 2021 without the pre-settled or settled status under EU settlement scheme would make it difficult at the border. Why do I say that? Because already we have had calls from people at the border or people having come through the border saying, how is it I'm an EA national, I have permanent residence, but I have been stopped and asked questions about my pre-settled status or settled status. So I can only make a video and inform people of this. Please tell your friends that applications online, put the application in and let the Home Office ask questions and documents if deemed relevant. But just put the application in and get the pre-settled or settled status. So that's 2. Finally, 3. This comes from a question where, say, in June 2021, the EU settlement ends, right? So we can't make pre-settled or settled status application. Imagine a person, let's call him John. Say John has pre-settled status already, and John will be eligible for settled status next year, October 2021. Now, keeping in mind the EU settlement scheme application stops in June 2021, next year, what application does John make to get settled status? Because the EU settlement scheme comes to an end. Now, my answer is, you see, when people apply for the BRP card replacement, especially because of the pre-settled status or settled status, they apply for a BRP card replacement, and in that application, which is free, it says, are you upgrading your current status to settled status? That is what I think in our scenario, John would have to do, because the EU settlement scheme would not exist to grant him settled status in October, because it will close in June. So that will be my answer, I'm afraid. I hope this has been helpful. Thank you so much for joining. As always, contact details below, subscribe, and I'll see you next week. Thank you so much. Take care.